Welcome, welcome to Seasparkle's Corner. Welcome, dear friends. Your Seasparkle is here. Now, before we start talking, I don't want any panics or anything like that, because I'm going to be with you for another 40 years or more, okay? You're not getting rid of your Seasparkle that easy, okay? But I want to talk to you about a friend of mine right here. His name is Joe. He has a lovely wife, and they're expecting a baby. Yay! Okay? I want to tell you what he means to me and why he means something to your Seasparkle. Even though I don't expect to leave till at least 40 more years or so, I wanted to find my final arrangements and wanted to find someone I could trust who I would make sure that could look after my kids. I'm not talking about a day-by-day thing, but I'm talking about them going through the grief of losing their mother and making sure that my final wishes are all taken care of. And I have introduced many people. I've gone to free lunches. I've been to funerals for other people that I was absolutely horrified by the things they said, because it goes against my personal belief, and I wouldn't want to upset my kids like that. It's going to be hard enough for them to lose their only mother, but yeah, by then Ren will be up there with my husband. So one day Drew called me on the phone and wanted to schedule an appointment. So I had a serious talk with him and got to know him and everything, and he's a person I can trust with my children after, and making sure my final arrangements are taken care of the way I want it done. Now, that he is special to me for someone who I barely known for a long time, but I was looking for a long time. Getting somebody you can trust to make sure your final arrangements are done, in my opinion, and that my kids will be all right, because just thinking about it, my kids, when I got sick and ended up in the hospital a while ago, they were panicking. So I know it's going to be hard on them, but I know he's going to be there to reassure them that my final wishes are done and that he'll be there for them. Now, I'm going to let Drew talk to you a bit, so that way you can understand and get to know somebody who is very special to me. Now, I know this is a tough subject for all of us, but none of us is immortal. We all fall short of the glory, and we all go back to our Heavenly Father. We go back to the place we pick and we deserve, and we get to be with our ancestors. I'll get to see my husband again, because I believe in my heart that he's up there getting home, wrecking Phoenix, and getting a whole big stack of Swiss Miss hot chocolate. You know how your Seasparkle loves chocolate. And so, and he knows that I'm taking care of our kids. And so, and I'm going to know that Drew is going to make sure my kids is going to be okay. Drew, introduce yourself and say hi. And say, talk about anything you want to talk about. He's my special guest today on Seasparkle's Corner.
Well, thank you so much, Seasparkle, and I'm just really honored to be able to be the guy that you trusted and that you continue to trust. And essentially, in this line of work, one thing people say is people are dying to get in. Just kidding.
Not for about over 40 years, my friends out there, not for over 40 years.
That's right.
Please don't send me a lot of condolences thinking something's going to happen to your Seasparkle. I'm going to be bugging you guys for years to come with lots of fun videos.
And there's a lot of things that we all plan for, whether it be our kids going to college, a wedding, our kids driving. There's a lot of different things that we plan for, and different things that we do, such as driver's insurance, renter's insurance, homeowner's insurance, health insurance, just for those things that might happen. And so the one thing that, unfortunately, unless Jesus comes back before that time, that will happen is that unfortunately we all will pass. And so this is something that's near and dear to my heart. My grandfather was in this business for 55 years. My uncle was in this business for 17, and my mom and I are in this business now. So it's not something that's easy to talk about, but if you think that it's difficult for you to talk about it, it's way difficult for your significant other to talk about you passing, or your children to talk about you passing. So my job is very simple. I help someone look over all their options, I answer all their questions, and then we see what would actually fit within their dreams, balanced by their budget.
Oh, excuse me. I want to add something. With him, they'll take care of our plots for 100 years. So, by then, the Heavenly Father should have returned, so after that, I'm not going to worry about it. But they'll take care of it. And I want to give an example of that. When I went to visit my grandparents' burial place, the cemetery wasn't taken care of. I couldn't even find their plot under all the grass and weeds. And I have been to their place, and it's well kept up. And I think that's important when a family member goes to visit somebody, that they show that there's care and love for them. Am I not right on that?
Right. And there's a lot of places that they don't have what's called perpetual care, which means that anytime that we help a family do their planning, every dollar out of every $10 that they spend is then put into a perpetual care account, and that money is not touched until our cemetery is completely full. So until we've filled every single spot with people, then at that point, instead of the state taking over, which name 10 things that the state does well.
I'd rather not.
Exactly.
My taxes are too high.
Exactly. I'd be challenged to find 3 good things that they do well. And so instead of the state taking over, we have a trust that will pay for maintenance forever.
Well, because to me, when my kids come to visit me and my husband together, I don't want them to think that they can't find me and my husband.
Right.
I wouldn't want to upset them like that. That's the truth. I'm going to share with you all that my husband and I could have gone and got buried for free in the military graveyard, but then our kids couldn't be with us because they didn't serve. And I want our family to be together, because families are forever. And so it was hard for me to find somebody who I could trust, who will do it exactly the way I want it to be done. And why don't you give them some contact information?
So the best number to reach me at is 904-252-7562. That's Drew at 904-252-7562. I only help people in Florida, but in every state and a lot of the municipalities of the United States, throughout Canada, Mexico, we have over 2,600 locations. So even if you want to reach out to me, I can help you find a Dignity Memorial location that's close to you.
I wanted to add something, if you don't mind,
course.
something important. For people like me who travel on cruises or go and visit your relatives,
Right.
and God forbid, let's say 40 or 50 years from now, something happened, they'll bring me back home at no cost to and they'll make sure that I'm returned. And because you don't want to be stranded in a foreign country.
Exactly. And that's what's called our travel protection.
I think that's very important.
It's very important.
And they're the only company I know that offers that. Because, I mean, my mother and I, as you know, friends and viewers, when I was in the Dominion Republic, the crowds gathered and we did that little skit or whatever. And so, you know, I wanted to make sure, God forbid. What made me think of that was I was watching the TV and somebody died on a Carnival cruise ship.
Yep.
And he was only 40 years old, or was he 50? I can't remember. It was on the news. It was on Channel 4 News.
I think he was in his 40s.
Yeah, and the family couldn't afford to bring him back, and he couldn't stay on the ship.
Yep.
So they didn't have the facility on the Carnival ship, mortuary to put him in until he got back in the United States. So it ended up costing the family forever, and I don't even know how we got back, but you know, that's what I thought of. That was one of my criteria that Drew and I talked about at the beginning, because I'm not going to stop enjoying my life for fear of, God forbid, something would happen. I mean, anybody could fall anywhere and slip in a bathtub for that matter, or God forbid. I mean, GB always says the home is the most dangerous place, but if you're on a cruise ship, that's your home, or if you're in a hotel, that's your home.
Right.
And you want to be brought back to be with your loved ones. And I'm not trying to upset any of my viewers or scare anything, but I just simply wanted to tell that I'm locking in the price now, and I'm making payments for me and my kids and my husband. So we're all going to be together. And the place we're going to be together in the future isn't built yet, but since it's not going to be for 40 or 50 years, they can take their time building it.
That's right.
See, he has a good sense of humor, like your seasparkle. Thank you for being on Seasparkles. Is there any afterthoughts, anything else you feel you'd like to share?
I think probably in an industry like this, there's a lot of things that you want to make sure are taken care of, and this is something that you never know when it could happen. And so probably the easiest time to at least start looking into it, and if not funding, meaning locking in the price, at least starting to take the steps to plan it. Two questions that children may never know is, what would mom and dad have wanted, and did I do what's right for them? And I'm here to help you guys figure out what that looks like.
I think, if it's okay, I want to share a story about my sister.
Okay.
You know what happened with her. My sister's husband was slowly dying over 3 years of cancer. And he suffered terrible, but he never left a will. He didn't leave his final arrangements, and he didn't do his end-of-life care. Now, Drew can't help with the end-of-life care. That's a thing you need to get from your doctor to fill out,
Right.
which I have done. And it has to be, and Drew was kind enough to sign it, because you have to have 2 non-family members sign it, of who you want to make your decisions. And they were always fighting, and they were all calling me over the phone all the time. They all thought they knew what was best for him. And so, you know, and he was young. He was only in his 60s.
Wow.
My sister was older than him. So they thought that she would outlive him, and it didn't work that way. And so she's grieving now. But, you know, you need to do your end-of-life wishes as well, just in case. I mean, nobody can tell when cancer's going to hit you. It can happen at any age. Even children can get it. But God forbid. Medical science is doing research, and I hope one day they'll lick it completely. And so, you know, I've done that because even though I'm perfectly healthy and my passing is, like I said, 40 or 50 years away, I'm doing this for my kids, and I'm going to lock it in because the way inflation's going up, I want to get it taken care of, and I don't want to be put in a pauper's grave.
Right.
Like my sister's husband, God forbid, he didn't pay for his funeral, so his sister or brother or some family member who had money
Right.
paid for his cremation, and they just put his ashes in their yard, or they did. I don't know what they did with it, but I'm going to tell you something. You don't want to just fling ashes anywhere. You can keep them in an urn, But you got to be careful because of environmental laws. You don't put the ashes in the sea.
Yep.
And unless you're in the military, in the Navy, if you die at sea, then it's I guess I don't know if they still do that or not.
That they can.
Because when they're serving the military and killed, because they can't keep the remains there. But they brought my husband's back, but that's neither here nor there. But you just got to be careful that you just don't decide to put them somewhere, and you can keep them in an urn over your mantle or something like that. And that's really hard to do because I got my husband's ashes with me since his passing, and it was really hard at first. But I'm planning on, when the building is built, I'm planning on taking care of that.
Right.
And I did find out online, I'm not the only person who waits years and years to let their loved one go to rest, because when you die in the military time, I didn't have to have his remains brought here. He could have been buried in the military yard, but then that wasn't what he wanted, because we did talk about it, because he was in the Army, I was in the Army. And he said if we passed, we both wanted to be laid to rest together with our kids. And so I wasn't going against his wishes. So I know this is a hard subject to talk about, but it's a loving, I want to put it this way, it's a loving subject, because I'm showing my love to my kids. I'm paying for theirs, even though they're younger. I'm paying for theirs, paying for mine, paying for my husband. I already paid for my mother, didn't I?
Yep.
And so I'm making sure our family is all together throughout eternity. And well, how you think? I didn't shell it out all at once. It's called monthly payments. Talk about that a little bit. The option of monthly payments.
So there's a few different options. If someone wanted to just lock in the price nowadays and then pay it off over time, they can definitely do that. But what most people do is they take the cost of either the cremation or funeral, and then that is wrapped in term life insurance. And so what that means is that as you're paying the payments, if something happens and that loved one is passes, then whatever is the total cost that's still left over will be completely wiped out. And so that's what most people go with nowadays. Or if someone wanted to pay in full, we could do that.
I did that with my mom. I just wrote out a check.
Exactly. So it just depends what's best for you, what's best for your budget, and what stage of life you're in.
And they told me that the money that I wrote the check out for is being held in trust, and it's gaining interest.
Yep.
And so it's not being, it's not being touched. But for my kids and myself, for my husband, the military took care of that.
Right.
Because of the circumstances. But for my kids, I'm paying over 3 years.
Yep.
And for myself, monthly payments. But my mom, I just simply wrote out a check for.
Yeah, because your mom's a little older, so you were really thinking you wanted to get it done because it might happen at any point.
I figure she's got another 8 years, and she's doing better now than she was a month ago. She's getting better. Yeah, she's getting better. She's talking about our future and taking another cruise.
Wow.
Yeah, so she's doing better. We've got another doctor, and he's really good. She changed her medications, and she's doing better. She'll live to be 100.
I give hugs out pretty much daily, and when I gave her a little hug, I thought she's one of the littlest mamas I've ever hugged.
Oh, we want to share with you a true story. My mother wouldn't talk about it, but because I think she was just afraid if she talked about it, she was gonna. I didn't realize it at the time, but when Drew was over there in her house and we were talking about mine, my mother looked at her and said, "I don't want her to die." So just because you're planning a funeral doesn't mean you're gonna die.
Right.
I want to make that clear. I didn't realize it till then. Remember she said that?
Right.
She started panicking.
And that's what a lot of people think. I'm actually 32 myself, and when I was making my plans, I thought, oh man, this is, am I jinxing myself? But once you say it out loud, it's not true. You know that all you're doing is taking that responsible step to plan for something that is inevitable. And then once you do, it's a lot of weight off your shoulders that you don't have to be concerned with it anymore.
And it's not only that, it's that you're locking in a price because everything, inflation in this country is going up like crazy.
Yeah.
You're locking it in at a lower price and you're showing your family you love them because when something happens to you, I saw what my sister and her family went through.
Right.
And they were all fighting and arguing about everything, and I don't think that would do Jim any good. I don't think it would do any good. And I was their venting host for everybody. You asked Drew, I talked to him about it. I was getting so upset, with taking care of my mom and everything else and having to listen to that. There was nothing I could do to tell them.
Right.
Except share scriptures, that's all I could do, and share my love, but I don't want my kids to go through that, so I'm relying on Drew to make sure my kids don't go through that. And he's going to make sure they don't. Because everything will be paid 100% in full everywhere I'm going to be taken care of will be. And if God forbid something happens, like I'm out of the country in Timbuktu or wherever, on the moon, I'll be brought home to be with my family. And so it gives me peace of mind. And that's why he's on Seasparkle's corner, and that's why I'm telling you, he means more to me, means a lot to me because he's tender and understanding, and because I went to one funeral for one of our church members, and the person said, say goodbye to Nancy because you're never going to see her again.
Some people.
That was a horrible funeral director.
Wow, that was the funeral director?
Yeah. That was at the grave.
It's really important. I think there's a lot of people that even if they believe in God, if you're not constantly coming to God and connecting with Him, then your heart just gets hard and it just shrivels up.
So I went to their family and said, you know the scriptures, you've been baptized, you know you will see her again. I told Randy, I told him, you will see your mother again.
Right.
You don't say something like that, so that's why it's very important that you get somebody who is kind and understanding. That's the worst thing somebody could say to someone when they're burying their mother.
Right.
I told Randy and his brother, I said, you all know that's not true in their wives and families. You know that's not true. You know you will see her again because families are forever. So that's what I'm simply saying. I know he won't do that and upset my kids. Because if he did, I'd have to come back and haunt him. Upsetting my kids like that? No.
Right.
See, he's got a good sense of humor. But, so that's why it's really important that you have somebody who's kind and understanding and you interview them well. I saw many different people. They all hoped I would sign up with them and everything. And I find, there was in the conversations I find, no, I can't trust them. They would upset my kids.
Yep.
And I even saw one day that guy who did the funeral who said that at Nancy's funeral,
Right.
he was giving us a free lunch at Red Lobster, and I went to it thinking I didn't know if he was going to be it. And when I saw him, I remembered it, and I told my husband was still living then, and our kids were little. I said, my God. And so I said right to his face, I told him, I didn't care. I know he paid for our lunch. I said, you said that right by the graveside. And that's not true.
Right.
You do, families are forever. You don't do that.
Right.
I don't know if it woke him up or not, but I figured I'd try for anybody else who was upset. It was lunch that they paid for a free lunch. And hoping that you would sign up with them to do your final expenses. And I just got it in the mail. I signed up because I was looking at the time.
Right.
But let you know, Drew did not take me out for lunch. We met here in my house. He knows your seasparkle.
That's right.
And he knows I love all of you out there, and I don't want to see anybody get hurt. And so I wanted to share with you somebody who I know is kind and understanding. And that, I believe, is an important part during a person's most important part in their life, to make sure. We all have families, to make sure our families are taken care of. Is there anything else that you would like to share?
I think you said it all.
Okay. And as always, let's say it together. The fun never ends in seasparkles Corner. Feel free to share. Feel free to subscribe. Hugs and kisses to all of us, from us to all of you out there. Stay tuned for all the fun and see you next video. Bye, everybody.
Bye.